And joining us this morning for their camp's response, we have Attorney Ruy Rondain, legal counsel of former Acobico Representative Zaldy Co. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Attorney.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. How are you today?
Okay. There have been calls for Congressman Zaldy Co to surrender, one coming no less from the President himself early this morning. And I quote, sabi po niya, mas maganda para sa sitwasyon po ninyo na sumuko na kayo para maganda ang inyong pagsagot sa mga aligasyon na dinala kontra sa inyo. So what is Zaldy Co's camp's response to this?
Meron pa kaming mga legal remedies na available to us, no? Like yung moving to quash the warrant of arrest at saka yung dismissal ng case. Kasi nga, as we've maintained consistently, this case should not have been filed. These cases should not have been filed. So allow us to take our legal remedies before we get to that, before we cross that bridge.
Oh, and what will be the argument for that, the moving to quash the charges?
Yung lack of probable cause. I've always stated that based on the evidence that I've seen and based on the press releases of the Office of the Ombudsman, talagang there's absolutely no evidence to support this indictment. So, I can't talk about the merits of the case since it's already pending with the Sandigan Bayan, but hintayin na lang natin. Let's wait for the motion, for the motion that we will file.
And you are talking specifically about the Nauhan Oriental Mindoro Flood Control Project when you say there's lack of probable cause.
Yes.
Oh, kasi iba pa po yung mga pag-amin.
But we're concentrating on that.
Oh, hindi po ba may pag-amin na rin po na ginawa si Congressman doon po sa kanya mga video?
Wala. If you analyze his statements very carefully, walang admission doon except na dumaan sa kanya. So that is not a crime. Or at least it's not the crime that he is charged with. But again, Gretchen, we have to be very careful. I really can't talk about the merits of the case anymore.
Okay. Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla says they are already asking the Interpol to issue a red notice versus Zaldy Co. What is your next step on this? Almost all the countries are members of the Interpol.
Again, I can't telegraph my punches, not my style. Sorry. I'll let you know in due course.
Okay. But has, apart from the legal remedies that you're already pursuing, meron po bang interest on the part of the congressman to, or is he at least thinking of surrendering? Sure,
that's always an option. Ang problem lang naman na kailangan i-address ng gobyerno is yung safety niya, because that's always been a great concern, that his safety is compromised. So if those concerns are addressed, then I see no reason why he can't or shouldn't agree to surrender.
Okay,
he's not afraid of facing the cases. He's afraid of getting killed.
But if what would require for him to at least feel safe? Ano po ba ang mga condition? Has he laid that down? Meron po ba siyang, I mean, he has indicated interest in serving house arrest, to which several authorities have already said no way, kasama na dyan si Congressman Toby Chanco. But for him to feel safe, meron po bang kondisyon yun?
No. In the first place, Gretchen, that was a response I gave to Pinky Webb in response to a hypothetical question. Hindi niya condition yun. Because that's a legal remedy that he can request, that he can move the court for. So, sinagot ko na rin yung statement ni Congressman Tiangco na it's not up to him and it's not up to public to decide. It's not up to the public to decide whether or not he will be granted bail or house arrest. The cases have been filed before the courts, and it's the courts that decide, not public opinion. It's certainly not a sitting congressman.
Although he can argue indefinitely that his life is in danger, so what would it take for him to come home?
Like I said, that would be an attractive option for me, if he were granted house arrest or if he were granted bail. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Again, I haven't moved for anything. Again, I must emphasize that if these safety concerns are addressed, I would be the first one to recommend that he come home.
Because
if you... Let's be clear, he hasn't asked for anything. those were my statements, and they are not
Okay.
conditions. Because I
Uh-huh.
don't want the Sandigan Bayan to get the wrong impression.
But how can the safety issue be addressed?
That's what I'm saying. If he had control over his environment, if he was under house arrest, or if he were granted bail, then he wouldn't be in jail with the potential killers surrounding him 24 hours a day.
Okay, because the DILG secretary has said that he only has until Monday to surrender. Otherwise, ay sila po ay hahanapin na. At kung sila po ay magtago, we will consider them fugitives of justice.
Again, it's not to him to decide who is and who isn't the fugitive. So, okay lang yan. Kung meron siyang statement na yan. Not
Okay.
legally binding as far as I'm concerned.
Now, the DFA, however, is also still waiting for a court order to cancel his passport. Is he still using his Philippine passport to go around?
I would imagine that he does not have any other passport, and I don't know if he's actually going around. And again, that's one of the remedies that we're thinking of availing on. They do move to cancel his passport. We're going to resist that because there are no grounds to cancel his passport.
Okay, I've spoken with several camps already regarding the statements of Zaldy Co. And they all say, bakit hindi niya patotohanan ito by actually appearing before authorities and conducting his testimony under oath? Because for now, mga social media videos lamang ito.
Nasagot ko na rin yan, na he will do that in due course. He's not offering these revelations as part of as a judicial declaration. So we'll get there in due time. Hindi naman kailangan umuwi siya dito to swear to those statements. Ano? He can do it wherever the rules of court allows. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But,
Wala pa naman, hindi naman judicial declarations ang ginagawa.
And what is his intention with these videos?
Eventually, the videos will find their way to court. And in fact, I've also said that eventually he will reduce everything into writing under oath to a deposition or whatever mode that's allowed by the Supreme Court, by the rules of court.
Oh, but do you confirm that that's actually him in the video? Because there are have been rumors swirling that this is AI generated. So from you, siya po talaga yon.
Siya yun. I asked him squared and hindi yan.
Okay. Am I correct in my understanding that the congressman is applying for state witness status?
No. Again, that was a response to a hypothetical question. Sabi, would he be open? I said, sure. He'd be open, but it's not something that we have discussed just yet.
But are you thinking along those lines? Since sabi niyo po ay siya po ay dinaanan lamang ng pera and there's lack of probable cause to find him guilty of these charges.
Yes, I've toyed with the idea. We haven't discussed it. I've toyed with the idea, but I haven't made a decision either on whether or not to go that route.
Why? Why the hesitation?
Because I have other more efficacious remedies. If I can get the cases dismissed, why would he have to testify? See, we're bordering on sub judice. So.
Okay. Pero sabi po ni Congressman Zaldy Co, meron daw po siyang resibo, ebidensya. Medyo mabibigat po yung kanyang mga inilapag dun sa video, accusing the president of receiving 25% in SOP. What kind of evidence might he have to substantiate these accusations?
He has receipts. I've seen them actually. He has receipts proving that the money was in fact received. By whom, when, where, how? Let's wait for him to disclose that. I don't want to testify for him.
Will
he
they
should not testify for the witness.
Will he be able to pin down the president directly or indirectly?
Let's wait for him to make that thing.
Inaantay po ng lahat po kasi yan, ano? Okay, going now to other details of his video. In his video statements, meron po dun mga letrato ng mga bagahe. Pero paano po natin malalaman kung ano po yung laman ng mga bagaheng yun? Kasi, I mean, it's so easy to take photos of pieces of luggage, right?
Yes, you're already thinking like a lawyer. That's where you link the receipts with the photographs.
And speaking of linking, some of the timelines of the photos posted are curious because yung iba po ay were photos taken before the BICAM, no? Because the congressman was talking about the 2025 budget. How does he explain then the other photos that were as early as January 2024?
That's correct. There is no linkage between the photographs and the 100 billion insertion in the 2025 budget. Yung deliveries were for 2024 and earlier years, I understand. So mali lang yung correlation. That's all. The monies that's been delivered had nothing to do with the 2025 because yung 2025 yung 100 billion hindi siya naman nang nag-deliver nun eh. He never said that he delivered. He just asked the DPWH people, magkano bang SOP dyan sa 100 billion? And he was told not 25%, so 25 billion. As far as I can remember, he did not deliver that 25 billion.
He did not.
We're talking about other deliveries.
So in the past, ibig sabihin, kasi sinabi niyo po sa aming sister program, The Big Story, nung tinanong po kayo, that tinanong nga niya kung magkano yung SOP ng presidente for the 2025 insertions.
Yes.
To which your client was given the figure 25%. In that case, even before that, paano po yun? I mean, ano pong porsyento din yung nasa photos kung hindi po niya dineliver yung for 2025?
Hindi ko pa alam. Again, let's wait for him to to tell us kung anong porsyento yung previous deliveries yung mga nasa photos. Basta hindi yun yung 2025 na 100 billion. That's clear. Kasi kinabahan din ako when I heard, I think it was Senator Lacson said na hindi daw na si Yusek Bernardo raw ang nag-deliver nung not even 50 billion daw. So I reviewed the tapes and I asked him, sabi niya, I never said that I delivered 25 billion. Tinanong niya sa mga DPWH people, 25%. So he assumed na, so therefore they should have received 25% of 25 billion. The deliveries in the photos, hindi yung connected sa 100 billion in 2025. So yun yung previous deliveries for previous, I don't know, collections, let's call it that. Let's wait for him to explain that. I can tell you now categorically, hindi yun 2025 na 100 billion.
But help us understand, Attorney, why would Congressman Zaldy Co allow himself to become the funnel for this amount of money if he did not receive anything from the budget insertions, which was his claim in his video? Parang ang hirap naman pong paniwalaan.
Nasagot ko na rin yan. No? He was overwhelmed. Napag-utusan siya, natangay siya, against his better judgment, sinabi niya yan. But let me try to explain lang yung mahirap paniwalaan, because yung mahirap paniwalaan na sinasabi ng publiko, that's the world of public opinion. I don't live in that world where conclusions are made that's not based on complete evidence, not based on admissible evidence. I live in a different world. Where facts are established by evidence and conclusions are made by a judge after receiving all the evidence. I don't have the luxury to indulge in what the public is saying. When I'm working a case, I have to concentrate on what the law allows. I don't mean to diminish, don't get me wrong, I don't mean to diminish yung value of public opinion. But when I'm working a case, it's noise as far as I'm concerned.
But
nasabi ko na rin that we agreed on a democratic system, and the judicial system that we also agreed to, the Constitution, requires that evidence be produced in a court of law under the rules of court and let the judge decide whether or not we believe that judgment. That's on us. we have to trust the judicial process. Yan yung sistema natin. So mahirap piniwalaan, sorry na lang, hintayin nyo na lang kung yung ebidensya.
Although we're trying to connect the dots here as to why things happened the way they did, right? So you can expect these questions also from the public. And also another question is, what would you have to say to talk about the president getting mad at the House Speaker and also Congressman Zaldy Co, who was House Appropriations Chair back then, on insertions in the budget? Parang ganun po yung sinabi po ni Congressman Toby Chanco na na-witness niya po yung presidente na nagalit sa kanila dahil hindi niya na ma-recognize itong budget na ito. Yun po yung hindi nagtutugma doon sa salaysay po niya at yung circumstantial evidence.
Sorry, Gretchen. My recollection is that Congressman Tiangco said that there was a lunch on a Sunday and the president called him and the former speaker to a private study. Tatlo lang sila. Wala doon si Zaldy Co. So I cannot comment on what happened in that room because I have no personal knowledge and my client certainly has no personal knowledge. So anything that he would have told me, which he hasn't, anything he would have told me would be valid. But again, let's let the story unfold. He did say naman na mayroon pang susunod, diba, after part 3. So maybe he'll explain it then.
Okay. So going back to your legal remedies, you're pursuing the motion to quash the charges. What is when do you expect the response to this motion?
The response, they would have 5 days to respond, but I don't know when I'm filing it just yet. Or rather, I don't want to disclose when I'm filing it. Might be today, might be tomorrow.
So hindi niyo pa po na-file. Oo. Pero nakausap niyo po si Congressman recently?
No, regularly. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the option to surrender is on the table.
Always. So long as his safety concerns are addressed.
But not today.
Not today. I don't think so. Realistically, not today.
Okay, so he will be considered a fugitive of justice by today. Okay, maraming salamat po for your time.
Not my declaration. But, okay.
Thank you for joining us this morning and giving us a response of the camp of Congressman Zaldy Co. We have Attorney Ruy Rondain